Hello everyone and welcome to Mr. Anderson Says. I'm Mr. Anderson and I have not said anything on my YouTube channel for a couple of years, so I thought it was about time. There has been a ton going on in the world and in our country, and it has just been way too much to keep up with. So what I'm going to do is going to share a stream of consciousness in this video, clip it up, and share it in a few different ways. So bear with me if it seems a little disjointed. It's because, yeah, I lost track of thought and needed to circle back around. Anyways, the first thing I want to talk about is this election. I have my co-host here still, P. Josh. How you doing, P. Josh? Oh, geez, what happened to you?
Greedflation.
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 All right, P. Josh, well, I'm glad you're still with us. How about you share with us one thought on how you think elections are working right now?
The great equalizer. No! What have you done?
That is absolutely correct, P. Josh. Our elections are currently a two-sided coin flipped by the oligarchs, with the outcome barely making any difference at all. These elections are seriously a game to the oligarchs, and if we don't start playing the game and turn the tables on them, we are really going to lose out for not just ourselves, but the entire planet. Our two-party system has become so completely corrupted that we have Democrats who never want to do anything and Republicans who want to take everything away from us. And it's enough to make us all sick. We really need to change. And there are a few things that we can do right now, before even this election in 6 days, that can change the way our politicians think of us and change the way we interact with our politicians.
And after the Supreme Court ruled that money was the same as free speech, your company bought a shit ton of congressmen, and life became one big shot of dopamine into your dick.
First of all, Citizens United has completely corrupted our politicians to the point where they are corporate sponsors and nothing more. We need to change how we use our money in elections. First of all, we need to stop giving it to politicians who are definitely rich enough to film a few videos and book a few venues for their campaigns. It is absolutely absurd that these millionaires are asking us for dollars upon dollars every single day. They don't need it, all right? We do. Now, I'm not saying don't ever donate to politicians, because there are plenty of local and state level politicians who do need the donations to keep their campaigns running. But again, they don't need $500,000 in order to make things happen. You don't need money to get votes, politicians. You need policies that people want to vote for in order to get votes, politicians. It really is that simple. Donations are not going to get anybody else to show up who's not showing up right now. Democrats need to make big time turns in their policies, and hopefully within the next week, so that we can encourage these people who don't see the government as useful, who don't see the government as helping them, and who don't feel any benefit from either side of the government to get out and vote. They need to feel like they're heard. They need to feel like they're seen. They need to feel like they're valid and they matter. And right now, neither side is doing that for either of them. Young people feel completely disillusioned because they have grown up in 20 plus years of nonstop war and conflict and propaganda. Minorities feel completely disenfranchised because not only are you building more cop cities, Democrats, but the racist Republicans have been worse than you are by far, and exponentially getting worse the more the years go on. Please stop giving politicians money. Just stop it. Just stop it.
Let's get out and vote. Let's make our voices heard. We've been given the right to choose between a douche and a turd.
The next thing we need to do is increase voter turnout. And this is going to be hard because you're going to want to tell people who vote differently than you to stay home. But don't do that. We need every eligible citizen in a democracy to vote in order for it to represent us as a democracy. It's really simple, people. I don't know why we get so fucking convoluted over this shit. Bigots, racists, xenophobes, incels, sexists, all of you motherfuckers are not gonna have a good time in this video. So scoot along, and yeah, if you stick around, just shut the fuck up, I don't care. Purely based on policy polls alone, we know that this country would be moving in a far more progressive way if we relied on politicians to do what they say they're going to do. Unfortunately, we aren't capable of trusting our politicians to do what they're saying they're going to do. We just have to show up and vote for them based on what they say, and then hope to God that they might follow through. After Joe Biden's last 4 years, though, and the only promise that he kept was that nothing would fundamentally change, so says he to the Wall Street investors. Yeah, we definitely don't have any faith that politicians are going to be doing what they say they are going to do. Regardless of how disillusioned we are by the inaction of our politicians, though, we still need to do our civic duty and show up and participate in these elections. The thing is, though, we can't keep doing it the same way we've been doing it. It really isn't working. We need one side to really be in power for a little while, and we need that to be the Democrats. It isn't a joke. It isn't like a fascist takeover by the Democrats. No. We aren't proposing that the Democrats hold power forever like Donald Trump is proposing with Republicans, okay? So Republicans, get the fuck over yourselves, please. Shut up. We need everybody to vote Democrat. We need everybody to show up, and we need to give this government a chance to really make some reforms without all of the fucking roadblocks of neoliberals blaming Republicans for why they can't work and for why Republicans keep dragging us back to the 1950s where everybody was racist and sexist and misogynist and shitty towards one another. No. We need something different, and we need to show them, the politicians, that we voters mean it. If we all show up and we all vote Democrat, we take every bit of their gerrymandering, their voter restrictions, their redistricting bullshit, and the representatives that they think are so safe, and we flip it all upside down. Democrats, Republicans, all of them are shitty, but guess what? The Democrats are a hell of a lot easier to work with, aren't they? They still suck, but they're easier. So why don't we give this country a chance to really make some reforms and put them in office all over the country, and then they won't have excuses as to why they're not doing what we as voters are telling them to do. The oligarchs really aren't going to like it if we learn to play their game by their rules and turn the tables on them. An enormous voter turnout in support of Democrats will give a massive mandate to every politician representing us. It will also give a mandate to Trump and all of his followers that the things that he does and says are not acceptable. They just aren't. If you're a basic human being, you know this already. But if you still are supporting that absolute pile of trash human being, then you need to get help. I'm sorry to say there's no solution to it, but you're in a cult and you don't know what it is that's good or bad anymore because of the things that they've told you. You live in a delusional reality and you aren't sharing this planet with us in that state of mind anymore. You're ruining it. You're making it awful. You are making it so miserable for the rest of us who have to deal with your idiocy, your lack of connection to reality, to basic facts. We're done. Sorry, Republicans. You gotta get help. You corporate neoliberals are just as much at fault as Republicans are for the shit mess we're in with this election, so you buckle up too. Republicans are definitely not the only ones at fault here during this election cycle. You liberals have been absolute monsters for the last 2 years. Ever since Biden announced his re-election campaign, and you all sticking it to us who didn't want to support him, how's it feel now? I want you to go ahead and count up all the minutes that you spent posting on Facebook, making videos on TikTok or YouTube, all in support of Joe Biden. I want you to add up those minutes and realize how much time you wasted, not just yours, but ours, in talking about that absolute dotard who never belonged in the White House to begin with. Y'all were lucky in 2020 when we went ahead and supported him after you shoved Bernie out of the way. Y'all were lucky. And we told you when Joe announced his re-election campaign that he wasn't going to win. This was before he became Genocide Joe and sent all the money and missiles to Israel for them to commit their genocide. This was before that. We were telling you that Joe had no chance. You didn't listen. What happened? You spent almost a year pushing us that Joe was the only option, that there was no other way, right? Well, what happened? Did we find another way? That's so weird how wrong you were. And the fact that Kamala is pushing the same frickin' campaign points that Joe was is really making her look not so good. If Kamala doesn't come out against the genocide that Israel is committing against the Palestinians, then I'm really scared about the turnout for our vote next week. It's not looking good. There are a lot of people standing on valid moral ground. Not supporting a genocide. Never ever heard somebody say, no, no, no. You have to support that genocide right now. Before this year anyways, because you liberals haven't shut the fuck up about it. If she doesn't change course on this, if she doesn't make a turn from what Genocide Joe has been doing over the last year, then I don't know what to tell you. There's nothing more I can do. She tells us that healthcare is a right, but then promises us that it'll still cost. Guess what? Something that costs money is a commodity, not a right. She tells us that she's going to help with housing by building a ton. We have more housing than we have homeless people. There isn't a housing shortage. There is a lack of regulation on corporations buying private homes and renting them to families at exorbitant fees. The way things are going terrifies me. It really does. P. Josh, do you have anything to add?
Winning? Is that what you think it's about? I'm not trying to win. I'm not doing this because I want to beat someone, or because I hate someone, or because I want to blame someone. It's not because it's fun. God knows it's not because it's easy. It's not even because it works, because it hardly ever does. I do what I do because it's right, because it's decent. And above all, it's kind. It's just that. Just kind. If I run away today, good people will die. If I stand and fight, some of them might live, maybe not many, maybe not for long. Hey, maybe there's no point in any of this at all, but it's the best I can do.
I hope that I'll see you all at the polls next week. Post it online, share with everyone, find your friends before next Tuesday and figure out if they're going. Don't ask them who they're voting for. You don't need to know. Encourage them to vote regardless of what their thoughts and feelings are. If they want to share with you, be there to listen without criticizing or invalidating them. Except, of course, if they're a Trump supporter. Fuck Trump. It's kind of amazing the amount of thoughts that I have on this election that I didn't share in this video and how long I've gone already. But I'm going to stop right here because I'm exhausted and because talking about this fucking election with people has made me sick to my stomach. And I'm really sick of it. I'm sick of this. It's so dumb. We humans are capable of so much more than this. If we weren't so focused on dividing each other and taking everything for ourselves, we would definitely have found a global solution to so many of our crappy problems right now. Instead, we're focused on sky daddies being different, and so we should kill each other for that. Fucking absurd.
19 billion snakes divided into 10,000 nations, all on the brink of global war over... Oh, race? How funny is that? Imagine being a racist snake. Hey, other snake, I hate you because you're the wrong color, snake. Oh my god. You're not laughing? Oh, you're dying.
Honestly, the snake planet from Rick and Morty is pretty close to exactly what we're living through right now. I would say I can't wait till this election cycle is over, but we all know that politicians are going to start campaigning for 2026 as soon as people are inaugurated in 2025. So, what the fuck? Anyways, viewers, if you've gotten this far in my video, thank you so much for sticking with me as I ramble my way through the frustrations of the 2024 election. If you don't know, P. Josh, what should my viewers do? That's right, everybody. So remember, next Tuesday, or beforehand if you're able, get out and vote. Vote to save democracy. Vote to stop Trump. Vote to put us in a better position for a better future than we would if you'd stay home. And as always, keep it balanced. Bye, everybody.